During the month of October, my team and I hosted a building contest here on the Low-Res Builds creative server, with the theme being spooky. So many insane builders turned up for this competition, showing off their incredible skills, creativity, and imagination. So here are the top 10 builds from the contest. Make sure you stick around to the end because the later ones just get crazier and crazier. Just quickly before we go on, because of the theme of this event, a lot of the builds include horror and violent themes. So just a heads up if you're a younger viewer or might feel triggered by these kind of things. Enjoy the video. So getting started with number 10, we have Devil's Heart Forest by CoralCalamity, and at first I thought it was just a giant black box that they submitted, but no, it turns out there's more inside. The entrance is on the top. There's a little red sign for us and it says entrance. All right, we're in the right spot. So we drop in and this is looking creepy already. It's dark, it's ominous, and we just drop straight into the middle of some very, very scary environment. We loved this one as the judges because it was just so immersive. Look at, you've got these red eyes just staring back at you from every direction. And obviously when you fall in from the top, like I can't even see the way out of here. So we might be stuck in here for a while. Next up in number 9, we have yet another black box. Seems like there's a little bit of a theme going on, but this one was kind of cool. They put all their colors, all their blocks they use, their patterns on the side. I don't know if it was a cool detail. Here we have Forest of the Soul Eaters by the Silver Shadow, and unlike our last plot, this one does not have an entrance on the top, so we're just gonna hop in Spectator and drop down through. Here we have a forest under a starry night. It's similar to the last plot in a few ways, but also very different. This one starts to tell a bit of a story. Obviously, creeping into the darkness, we have spider webs and skulls, and who knows what's in there. It's dangerous. But as we make our way to the middle of the plot here, something very sinister starts to describe itself. We've got these kind of victims strung up on the trees. It's oh, there's even more as we look up, though, surrounding us. And right in the middle, we have this thing that looks like a well. And down there is something that I don't want to come across in the dark. The judges and I really like this one. We thought it was really clever that they incorporated a bit of a creature design into their plot to help tell the story, give a bit of a reason for why things have gone so bad. Yeah, this is number 9. Next up in number 8, we have the first of many incredible large organic builds. What? Why did I choose this camera angle? This is so bad. I present to you Lady Halloween by Passbuilds, an incredible scenes that brings together so many different elements to create a really, really unique composition. We have, of course, this swampland with roots and lily pads, pumpkins kind of rotting away in the water here. Very nice. Off to the side here, a wagon, a huge wagon with spider webs tying it all together. A lantern over here, which is really cool. Really unique design. I think these kind of look like fireflies. I don't know if that was the intention, but that's the vibe I'm getting. Swooping around the central figure here, we have these black birds. I think the crows, and they just look absolutely incredible. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. That one might be a bat, but what's even more amazing is they're all in unique poses. So it's not just one bird copied 3 times. This is 3 unique creatures. Adding to, again, an incredible plot. In the center, we have Lady Halloween herself with a pumpkin head and a really strange long neck with a spider web on it. So there it is. Amazing work, Pass. Great build. Right, here we are at plot number 7, and believe it or not, we are standing right next to the toe of this build. This build is absolutely ginormous. I can barely render it all in. Here we have the incredible Blood Demon by Junopii. And guys, we're only at number 7. Look at how good this is. This just goes to show the caliber of builders in this contest. No stops. No expense was spared. This is an absolutely incredible organic. The posing, the weapon, the design, the composition of it all, really, really incredible. I'm gonna fly in here so you can see the shading techniques used to make this, and it's just insane. We've got coal blocks, we've got deep slate copper ore, we've even got bedrock, we've got so many different blocks all coming together to create something that sort of shows depth and form. So really, really insane build. We loved it. And call me biased, but I think my favorite part of this whole build is this mask here. Looks good, right? More stuff inside. Trust me. Did I miss something? Did I accidentally make a rule where builds should be submitted inside a black box? What's going on here? All jokes aside, this build is incredible. Here we have Looming Darkness by Insert Content, and as you can tell, we're down, deep, dark. We're in the caves, catacombs somewhere. We've got our boy Steve in the middle here, surrounded by more glowing eyes staring back from the darkness. And not only that, we have this very, very immersive particle effect, and if I've got the volume up loud enough, you should be able to hear these sort of haunting sounds of these sort of caverns. Comparing this to the last build, it's not hard to see that this is much smaller. It's a lot simpler. But it was really important to us as judges that we were not judging based on how big something is or how many different world edit tricks you know. It was really important that we considered creativity, and we thought that this one went really far to make something that was truly immersive and creative. Take for example Steve's torch here. It is bright, it's emitting light, but they've used blocks to create shading on the ground for where the light sort of fades out into the darkness, and just things like that are really creative, really simple. It tells a story. We have this character here who is lost in the darkness with just a single torch, and without that it would be a whole lot scarier, so we really like that. We are now halfway through our tour. This is the incredible 5th place build by the master builder Davdi, called Manipulated, and I think it's one of my personal favorites. Honestly, I struggle to put into words how I feel and think about this build. It is absolutely incredible. There is so much detail, such an incredible design, an incredible composition, and just creates this really, really beautiful scene. At the top of the build here, we have this giant hand which is pulling the strings, manipulating the bird below, giving the scene its name. But it's also so much more than that. This is so intricately designed and detailed. Davdi has created this effect using blocks sprayed around to create a particle effect, making the scene look like it is disintegrating, which looks incredible. There's even a little structure right on top of this giant hand. You would miss it if you weren't looking for it, but it just goes to show the level of detail on just this top portion of the build. Moving down into the build, we have this central focal point, which is this incredible bird. I mean, just look at those wings. Those are incredible, and it has that same kind of particle effect where things are sort of disintegrating off into the background. I love it. I love it so much. And one thing that might trigger some of you guys, look at this. Nothing is wrong with this. Nothing at all. And if that wasn't enough, right down here at the bottom, we have these crumbling castle ruins sort of on these floating islands of stone and smoke and vapor, just again, kind of disintegrating into nothing, all controlled by this master puppet, sort of pulling the strings, pulling it all apart, or however you interpret the scene. But that is the amazing 5th place build. Absolutely incredible. How does it get any better than that? Well, now I present to you in 4th place, Apocalypse by FilTheBedMaker. Just follow me, okay? Look at this. Phil has created an entire apocalyptic environment here. We've got buildings, we've got terrain, creatures, structures, stories. It's really, you can't really ask for much more than this for an immersive build. It's absolutely incredible. There's even a little boat here. Maybe that's how we arrived here in this haunted city. Simply just walking up the stairs, you can see the level of detail in this build. Such a wide variety of blocks just on stairs. And before we go any further into this incredible world, I just wanted to show you this, which was one of my favorite things. These copper rods and candles going around here were a fence at some point. At least that's, I think, the idea that they're trying to communicate. And just these little brown candles on the ground, they look like stumps of rotten wood or a rusty sort of poles. And I just thought that was such a clever and unique way of creating something that feels like a fence, but it's obviously not. It's much more decrepit. And we're going through the window because that's how we do it, into what looks like the camp of the survivors of this apocalypse. I love this. This is incredible. There's so much detail in this one room, let alone the entire build. It's absolutely incredible. And it tells this really clever story that there's people here that have survived a hellish event, whether it was caused by natural disaster or sort of a nuclear apocalypse or some kind of monster. It shows that they survived and that they're living here, and maybe there's a hope for a better future. Up on the roof of this building, we get a glimpse at the creature that may or may not have caused this apocalypse. Is it a monster? Is it a machine? I'll let you decide, but that is a very menacing looking beast. And if that wasn't enough, we can continue our journey looking around this build, exploring it, seeing if there's any more survivors, any more camps, any more dangerous things to avoid, anything to be aware of. But no, this is such an incredible build. Me and the judges had such a fun time looking at this and exploring it. If you want to check it out for yourself, come on over to the server. I'll have the IP linked down in the description. It's there is so much more to show. Like, just look at it. It's so sick. But now it's time to step out of the rain and check out the 3rd place winner. Excuse me if I say this incorrectly. Felmir, Fort of the Sallowed King by Cove 1. This is incredible. Just look at it. I got a little glimpse of this build when we started the competition. I was flying around and I saw this kind of castle emerging and I thought, wow, this is incredible. I did not realize that it would become an entire dimension with this inverted, flipped hell realm of castle, which way is up, which way is down. This build really took my breath away. It is such an imaginative creation here. We have this entire stone castle city, whatever you want, that doesn't only exist upwards, inwards, but it is also flips and goes underground as well. Is this the water? Is this a glimpse through a mirror dimension? I know I'm carrying on, but this build really deserves all the praise. And it doesn't stop there. This build keeps going deeper. Here we have the remnants of what looks like the king's throne room or the king's chambers, overgrown, falling apart, crumbling. But the undead king is there holding on for power. I think that's the throne there. Really, really cool. One thing the judges and myself spent a lot of time looking for was the builder's ability to tell a story. And here we have, right at the top of this platform, somewhere in the middle of this build, a lone adventurer just taking a break, catching a breath, because, you know, I'm sure it took a lot of effort to get right up there. But I love that. I love that there's just a single character just here doing their thing. And it looks like they're not alone. Cove the builder added these 2 redstone torches in a bunch of the windows to give the illusion that there's these red eyes, these glowing red eyes staring at you as you adventure around this build here, around this castle, kingdom, whatever. You want to proceed with caution, that's for sure. And right before we check out the second place winner, I wanted to show you right up the top. They did the terrain, they didn't need to do this, but it creates this really warm, sunny feeling after you've been trapped in this really twisted dimension down here. I think it's just a really nice attention to detail. In second place, we have Wanna Bite by THEJoseL or THEJoseL. This is such a creepy build. We're just standing here inside this little birdcage house prison thing that is being held by one of the most grotesque creatures I've ever seen in Minecraft. This thing made me feel ill. When I first saw this, when I was flying around here judging these builds with the other judges, I looked at this one and it really made me sick to my stomach. I don't even know what's going on here. Teeth, bones, very, very grotesque. And then down here at the base of the plot, we have a bunch of sticks and twigs and branches. Just looks gross. And the icing on the cake, we have this rusted steel blade attached to the creature's arm. It's creepy, it's spooky, it's gross, it makes me feel sick. This build absolutely nailed the theme. It is completely spooky. Congratulations on second place. And now in first place with a build that shows incredible skill and technique, as well as creativity, imagination, and storytelling, we have Vampire Ritual by Spritzu. This first place build features an incredibly detailed vampire character here, done in sort of an anime style, holding a heart or some type of organ, performing which looks like to be a kind of summoning ritual. Down below we have this crazy summoning circle made with incredible detail. I have absolutely no idea how you make anything like that. Absolutely insane. Next to that, an enchanted book, looking very good with all the spells you need for the ritual. Topped off with a couple of candles flickering here in the breeze as all these kind of red particle streams fly around. Absolutely crazy. Spritzu has also used a really cool selection of blocks here to create this kind of fluffy magical particle effect. You know, we've got the fungus, the fire coral, the glass, some crimson roots. It really all adds up to be such an incredible design. And of course the eyes, can't forget the eyes. We have a white flower, the azure blue, and a white candle, creating a little sparkle in their eye as they perform this evil deed. And the tongue, we're not even going to talk about that. But there it is, Spritzu, congratulations on first place. This is absolutely incredible. You deserve it, dude. So those are the top 10 builds from the contest. Make sure you head over to the server to check out the rest of the amazing builds that I couldn't show in this video that I feel really bad about. So go show them some love. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.